This is Mitch here with the Puck Dogs. We got Rod Zawacki, Chris Ruffalo here for today's games. Of course, no NBA action today. The season is suspended, not canceled. Suspended. It's like, man, it's like in our Facebook group, you would have thought that they said all casinos and sports books are closed for the next 10 years. It's like the season is suspended. Well, they're going to take a step back, figure it out, and make an announcement. I mean, how hard is this? I mean, it's kind of like when you get suspended from work, right, for telling your boss to go stick it, right? It's like, they tell you to go home, then, take tomorrow off, you come back on Monday, and then they fire you. I mean, this is how it works, right? I mean, it's like, what, like I don't know that drill like 100 times. I mean, I was fired from my own company already, right? I mean, it's like me and Steve Jobs fired from our own companies. It's like, it's funny because the guy who was my mentor when I first started this, and you guys might have seen this video with him and I out on the internet talking about like how I built Sports Chat Place and big picks and parlays, and it's like he's here, and then so we're talking about mapping out because things have gotten crazy here behind the scenes. You guys don't see a lot of it, but basically we went from I had Sports Chat Place, I don't have Sports Chat Place, I'm back to Sports Chat Place, but in the meantime, I built this whole other gigantic website, which in 4 months, right, blew up, and this is the YouTube channel that we're primarily on here. But, it doesn't mean that everything else behind the scenes didn't double in order to make that happen, right? Chris knows. It's like, it was just, the guys, us, we've been kind of together for a long time now. The gang, right, is together. You guys know them, Randy, Chris, and Andrew, right? It's like in no particular order. And Brett and Peter, have been our basic core guys, And now we have, many, many more people. We have Rod, we have, a whole bunch of other guys. Another Chris. We've got, all this stuff. So it's like mapping out what's going on behind the scenes is just, I don't even know where to begin. And so it was like, do I get another manager to help me, some of these jobs, like loading up these millions of YouTube videos I'm doing. This takes 6 hours a day out of my time. It's like, is there a way that we can get somebody else to, for me to shoot the videos and for somebody else to load them on? Things like this. And, who's going to watch that person that's doing that? Who's going to pay all these people? I mean, everyone's getting paid, but I'm doing that too. It's like, I'm not good at that. You guys don't want to hear about this. You want to hear me say, take the Lakers, right? I mean, this is what we do. It's really about the ceiling of my capabilities, right? So it's like, I'm like, well, maybe I should get a CEO. And the first words out of his mouth, he's like, you're going to get fired from your own company twice? He's like, that's because that's where you'll be headed with that. It's like, you need other people, but it's like, no one gets fired from their own company twice. Well, I guess they could, but that would be really crazy. Like, I was too old and shitty to do that show too. It's like, again, I'm too old and crappy. It's like I'm already in the middle airline seat here with two big guys on the outside, pushing their way in. It's like, forget about having an armrest over here. It ain't gonna happen. But we got college hoops today, really nice schedule of games. I mean, this is March Madness. This is kind of like the meat and potatoes of conference tournament action today and tomorrow. Really the two best days of, I think it's, while the NCAA tournament gets all the hype and everything like this, if you were looking for just quality stuff, today and tomorrow are the two better than the NCAA tournament. There's more games and there's more better games than there are in the NCAA tournament, where there's only 16 games that open in 2 days, where it feels like there's 50, right? But there's only only 16. But today there's a ton of games, and we have some really nice matchups. I mean, even Oklahoma State, Kansas, it's not, it might look on the surface like, the number one Jayhawks are have it, but hey, crazier things have happened. Oklahoma State has closed this season really strong. I know they didn't look great yesterday, but, now they're loose as a goose is what I imagine. They got nothing. They're playing on house money, right? It's like they were dead in the water against Iowa State. When you get these teams that are playing on house money, look out, right? That's why it's March Madness. It's like, ask Brad Stevens, with his two Butlers teams that made it to the finals, right? It's like playing with house money. It's like everything's going. They're taking shots and they're going in. Speaking about playing with house money, Chris, NHL morning skate canceled. Rod, there's a vote, a Skype vote. Right? Best kind
they'll
of vote.
do because each team has a player representative, and then they'll pass a vote along on what the team thinks, and then they'll go from there. So by noon, we'll have an answer if hockey's going.
Anyways, we want to let you know that our show is not quarantined. You guys are more than welcome. We could fit an arena full of people here if need be. You told your boss to go stick it. Is anyone surprised with that? Is anyone ever surprised? I've only had 2 jobs in my whole life that I wasn't fired from. And my last job before doing, Sports Chat full time, I was totally fired. That was the job that I was so fired of. It was like, so I had my performance review was on Thursday in the morning. They sent me home after the performance review because the screaming and back and forth, and it was getting to that point. They told me to just go home and relax, take the next day off. I came in Monday, and then I was fired. But actually, according to the paperwork, it was a resignation, and I got all this extra stuff, yeah. Which I used actually to build Sports Chat Place bigger. I was about a year and a half into Sports Chat at that time, maybe a year in, and I used that money that I got that they gave me to build out Sports Chat Place, and ironically, did it again. Doing it again, and also building out Pick Dogs. Pretty exciting. I think, it doesn't take much if you do it efficiently. Let's see. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Once again, the NBA season is just suspended. It's not canceled yet. It's possible that it will be canceled. It's possible. I wouldn't be shocked if it was canceled. I wouldn't be shocked if they're playing it, if they say, March 25th, we're going to start playing again. And it's because they're telling the teams to still practice.
Yeah. Because it's not over.
Absolutely, AP. Every day, man. You never know, right? We're all at that age. Anyone that's in this group is all at that age that they know, man. Every day is a gift. It's you never know. Did you like the 2 jobs, the ones I wasn't fired from? I think what happened, I think they were temp. I think they were temp jobs. And the other one, actually, I did not like the job, and then, I didn't like it. I liked it the first 3 or 4 days, and then the rest of the time, I was just looking for another job. Who's had a job that all they did during the time that they had that job was look for another job? The best was the last job I had. So the reason why I got fired and I got the bad performance review is because I was writing articles all day. People hated that. I would go in, I would write articles because I didn't have all the guys back then. I didn't have all the guys. I don't know who would be calling me right now. This is crazy. Hold on, I'm going to get my phone. We're going to see who would call me in the middle of the show. Hello?
Reward you for making your payments in a timely fashion. We're excited to inform you that you're now eligible
to
qualify for
4:41 in the morning.
If you still
4:41 in the morning.
$5,000 in total credit card debt, press the number 1 to qualify for lower interest, lower payments, and cashback benefits.
Thank you for holding the line. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderfully. I have to just reveal to you that we're on the air. You're on live on our YouTube show. Oh,
He hung up.
He didn't want to play.
Oh,
I had to say that. You can't record someone without them knowing.
Without them knowing and agreeing to it?
Yeah, so I had to say that.
And then he was like, "Oh no, not doing that! Quick, hang up."
Oh man, I thought we were gonna have some fun here. Well, we got to kill our NBA segment somehow, right? That was going to be our NBA segment. But anyways, back to getting fired, and but it's like, we've all had jobs where it's like, it's like this is not our destination. This is just, a paycheck. You do what you have to do, right? But. I used to write most of the articles myself when I first started, especially at college football place. I used to write everything myself. And then Mark joined me right after like my first 3 or 4 months. But I'm still coordinating. Then I had a few other writers as well. And so I still was coordinating with all of these guys, while I'm holding on a full-time job. And basically, that was a full-time job. And then I had the other full-time job. So I get my performance review. And it's basically like, you come in, you work on your website, you go to the gym, then you come back and you have lunch, then you work on your website again and you go home. So yeah, it's pretty much is what I do. And I said, so then they told me to go home and take the next day off, which was Friday, come back on Monday, and then on Monday, when the IT guy is waiting outside your door, like of your office, when you go to a job, basically what's going to happen is human resources is going to call you. You're going to go, like I hadn't seen this before, right? Human resources calls you. You go into human resources, they fire you, and then when you come back, like all your computer stuff is all disconnected and everything, right? So like I want their information, like I need their information. So basically it was like, my boss doesn't even say to me, you're fired. He just says, you can't work here anymore. I said, does that mean I'm fired? And the human resource guy goes like this, you're so fired. But he was actually a good guy, The human resource guy was like a friend of mine. I'm still friends with a lot of the guys that I used to work with at that company, including the owners. And they're good people to have, because if we ever do feel like expanding, billionaire friends are very good things. They're very good people to know, but it doesn't make a difference. But like I'm saying, if we wanted to build things out to make them gigantic, which we will at some point, getting finances is not going to be an issue. How are you just? I don't think you do. I think that when players get into the game, it's kind of like the games here in Maui, where there's no one in the stands. The games in Honolulu, where there's no people in the stands. The games on the battleships. Remember the battleship games? Those are games that were canceled too, right? Oh, man. What's up from Boston? I watch every day.
I seen a comment. I'm trying to remember what player it was. There's an NHL player who made a comment that goes, "Hey, I played in Florida for a whole season, and look at the empty seats we got there."
So you guys want to go over NHL, or do you think we're going to be canceled? What do you guys think on this one? It's up to you. Let's just talk about the NHL in general, and we're going to act as if they're going to play. Chris, what are you talking about playing around? Got Chris here. Chris, I talked about this on the computer show, because I talked about the difference between being suspended and canceled. And suspended is kind of like, it's suspended. It means that it's probably going to come back. It's just going to stop for now. Kind of like I was suspended from school a bunch of times, right? I wasn't expelled. Well, maybe I was, but I was suspended. That happens later. But at first I was suspended a bunch of times, right? And it's like first it was indoor suspension, then a 3-day suspension, then 10-day suspension. It was like first indoor 3 days, then indoor 5 days, right? Then it was regular suspension, a week suspension, regular suspension, then 2 weeks regular suspension, then whatever, you guys know. So Chris, how many times were you suspended? Indoor suspension? Yes. How about detention?
Well, detention. Detention was a regularity.
Yeah,
I knew the detention people by first name.
Yeah, this is a detention crowd. I mean, we have a detention audience. I know that. You know, it's like we are detention people. This is
Just
we had to write out a sheet, a thing. I am in detention, blah blah blah. Well, I would do it during the day in class, knowing that I was going to end up in detention.
how
So
about
then when
how
I
about
got to
how about
detention,
getting the
partying.
detention for not showing up to detention, right? There's always that one, and then there's
oh, yeah.
reading the magazine in
Detention
homeroom,
inception. Yeah.
right? Reading the magazine in
Yeah.
homeroom, always detention. You know, my friend Mark and I, Mark's like one of the smartest guys I know. Him and I used to get not suspended. We used to get detention all the time for eating in class. M&Ms, whatever, lunch.
Whatever.
The
Yeah, you're
teacher
not
used
allowed
to
to
make
eat
us
lunch.
drop our lunches at the desk. We both sat in the back because of our last name. Mine's W, his is Z, so it went alphabetical order. So we sat next to each other almost every class.
Yes, if we were in trouble, you'd if you showed up late to a class, you just bring the teacher a coffee on your way into the class, and it's kind of like your get out of jail free card. And there was one teacher that had like 8 coffees just lined up on his desk.
Yeah.
See, Shane's one of us. Detention every Saturday. See, I had the after school detention also.
Yeah, it was always after school.
Yeah, it's
for
always
me.
after school, and like there's no bus. You got to walk home. It's like pretty much what it is. Chris, speaking of detention, we got a hockey. I don't know if they're going to play. Capitals, Red Wings, Leafs, Nashville, Dallas, Florida, Canucks against Coyotes. I mean, we might be not
Coyotes.
doing the Canucks thing for a while here. Calgary, the Islanders, Vegas against the Wild, Jersey, Hurricanes. Anything here that, I mean, we don't know if they're going to even play these games today because the vote. What time is the vote, Rod?
You know, they're having the meeting at 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock Eastern. So
So,
probably should
Sorry.
so we should know soon.
should be right. Yeah, it should be soon.
We should know
We
soon.
might know during the show.
Yeah, well,
Make a big announcement.
let's go over the games. At least, you know, how many you like today?
A few.
5, yeah, 5.
All right, so go ahead. I'm going to grab some coffee. I'll be right back.
So I'm gonna take a shot with Philly at plus 130 against Tampa Bay. I know Tampa Bay's at home, but I'm starting to catch on with Mitch. I'm losing interest in Tampa Bay, and I don't think Tampa Bay. They're just looking to coast into the playoffs, and you're going to give me plus 130 with a Philly team that they lost their winning streak, but they've still won 9 out of the last 10 games. I'll take it. I'll take Philly plus 130. I like Carolina in regulation against New Jersey. I know this is a lot of plus money for New Jersey at home. They've been playing pretty well. But Carolina's finally started to figure things out. They've got their goaltending healthy again. And I just think Carolina's the better team, and they're going to start their playoff push. I'll take Carolina in regulation. I like Pittsburgh minus 145 on the road against Columbus. Again, Columbus just can't buy a win right now. And Pittsburgh, they're going to have to start turning it on if they're going to get playoff ready. So I'll take Pittsburgh on the money line. I'm going to take Florida plus 125 against Dallas. I hate it as a Leafs fan, but Florida's the more desperate team, and I'm not laying minus 140 with the Dallas team that's lost 6 games in a row. And I'll take Calgary at minus 140 against the Islanders. Calgary usually plays their best at home, and the Islanders have lost 6 straight coming into this one. So I'll take Calgary on the money line.
So Hawaii is, at this point, we're corona-free, but there was a doctor who was here that is infected with the virus, so we have to see exactly what happens. There's a 2-week thing, you know, with it. So, but at this point, I believe we are. So, I don't think it's going to stay that way. But I think that, you know, I think they're going to get this thing. They always do, you know. They always do. It's like spring is on the way, too. That always kills these things. How about you, Rod? What do you like here after hitting your NHL birdcage after a 3-day slump?
I'm on a 3-day slump, eh?
In the NHL, he still hit college basketball.
I know.
I don't know. I think it's funny because it's like neither of these guys have really been online for all that long. Chris has been writing articles for a long time, but Rod has been, mostly in in the social media space, like on Facebook groups and and Twitter, things like that. So while he's been on the other side of things, he's never being on the video and kind of being out there is a whole different thing. Actually, a year ago, Rod and I had this big argument on the internet. Like we weren't. Like the fact that Rod would be on a show with me back then is just, I mean, right? It seems like a million. It would have been like, it would have never happened because Rod used to not have his face on this thing, and I'd be like, you don't even have your face on your profile. It's like you got to be accountable for who you are, and he's just like put his face up. And look, now he's on live every day, and even his first show. Remember, he was a little nervous. Now it's like he shows up, man. That's just how it happens. Yeah. It's like I don't start off big friends with everybody. Sometimes the people that I start off with an argument end up being some of your best friends.
Yeah, and that was the 1 year anniversary yesterday.
Yes, it was. It was just a really heartfelt moment that I had. It was just I just paused and really just.
Only because Facebook had to show my mug. They're like, "Look, you shared this picture a year ago," and I was like, "Oh, it was
a good time for some reflection."
I think I had a minion. I think all I had was like a minion. There was just a minion as my picture on the group.
It's like the worst picture of them too. It's like the selfie taken from the low angle. It's like everyone always says when you take a selfie, you're supposed to do it like this, Yeah. Or it's like Rod's is like this.
That's like, do I have a bat in the cave selfie? Like checking out my nails.
All right, let's get the picks. We got so much college hoops. We haven't even talked about anything. Except everyone now knows that I got suspended and fired a lot.
Give me the Devils here. I know Carolina's starting to look better, but give me the Devils at home. Carolina's 0-4 the last 4 games in New Jersey, and New Jersey's 7-1 the last 8 meetings between these two teams. Give me the Devils here and the plus money at home. I like Tampa Bay to beat the Flyers. I'll take Tampa Bay in regulation plus 100. I like the Penguins. Give me the Penguins on the puck line. I think they can beat Columbus by a couple. Give me Penguins minus 1.5 plus 200. I'm going to take Montreal in regulation. I am not backing no Buffalo team on the road. No, thank you. Give me Montreal in regulation. Stop their losing streak. Detroit and Washington, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole because I lie in, what was it, minus 350, I think. I've seen in Washington. Oh, it's up to 400 now, yeah. Yuck. Not touching that game. No, that's a total pass for me. Nashville at the Leafs. Give me Nashville here. Nashville on the plus money over the Leafs. Panthers at Dallas. I like Dallas to win in regulation. Give me Dallas in regulation plus 100. The Islanders and Calgary. I like Calgary to win that one in regulation. And the Canucks at Coyotes. Give me the Canucks. I think the Canucks can go in Arizona and get a win.
There it is. Someone just asked your thoughts on Coyotes. Just said it. And he likes
I like the Canucks.
Jumping orca sea symbol, the Canucks logo. For those of you who are just joining us and haven't been part of that, that's the Rod Zawacki symbol for Canucks. When he was describing, we had a few discussions over logos, team logos, and like which are good and which are bad. Some of these we don't even understand, but the Canucks. This is how Rod described it: it's a sea with a jumping orca.
It's the orc good jumping out.
Is that everything?
Yeah, that's the hockey I like today.
Anyways, we got college hoops, at least for now. And this is, I really hope they don't cancel the tournament. And of all the things I think that were, when I thought the things that were the strongest possibility, I thought canceling the tournament was probably the strongest. It was the first thing I said when this stuff started happening. When they canceled, Indian Wells, I was like, they're going to cancel the tournament. And then we saw the Ivy League tournament canceled, not postponed, not suspended, canceled. You can't suspend or postpone a conference tournament, but the NCAA tournament, they could theoretically do it, especially since the arenas are empty because the NBA teams aren't playing, right? And the NHL teams, we're going to find out. I'm surprised there's not a leak on this vote, Anyone that hears any news on the NHL vote, let us know. Here it is. Tennis shuts down for 6 weeks.
Oh, tennis is done.
Tennis is shut down for 6 weeks now over the virus. But here it is. It's suspended, right? It's not like they're never going to play tennis again. Ironically, if you look at those 6 weeks, it's probably the French Open that's next. And it's probably going to resume with the French Open. I haven't even read the article, and I can tell you, it's like we're not going to plan on canceling a Grand Slam event. So, Miami Open, U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships, the Grand Prix in Marrakesh, Monte Carlo Masters, the Barcelona Open, and the Hungarian Open, all canceled. The next Grand Slam is May 24th. So March, that would put us through April. It would put us in May. It would put us to the beginning of May for tennis. And then it would give 3 weeks before the French to get it rolling. So it's kind of like they're doing it in a logical format. I don't know how they came up with the magical number of 6 weeks. But, tennis is one of those kind of sports anyway, right? It's like... So in college hoops, Chris, great schedule today, Rod, right?
Sorry to cut out. Donovan Mitchell tested positive for the coronavirus, too.
Yep, we got that one.
Oh, did you? Okay, my fault. Sorry.
Yep, we had
Sorry.
it. But, so, Rod, how many college hoops do you have today? See, this is the same thing that happened in our Facebook group. It's like, instead of making it a conversation and something that we're all talking about, it's everybody just spewing, It's like, that's fine. We know Donovan Mitchell has it. So what do we think? How many players do you think have it? Do you think it's just the Jazz have it, or do you think that other teams have players that have it? I'm going to bet other teams have players that have it.
They put the Raptors in quarantine after playing the Jazz last, right? So they were all getting tested yesterday, and they all got quarantined, the whole Raptors team, because they played the Jazz last. So they're erring on the side of caution there.
So if sports go, what will we do? I already can tell you that I have a contingency plan at Sports Chat Plays and Pick Dogs for what we're going to do as a team there. We already have, as a matter of fact, we announced the contingency. We talked about we've been kicking around the contingency plan before it even started, So we kind of had ideas to keep the guys busy. It's not going to keep them as busy as they are. Obviously not going to be as exciting, but we have a plan. I can't announce it to everybody. You'll just have to see it unveil organically, right? People love that term. People that aren't like us, right? Then the guys on TV, we just let this develop organically throughout. It's like, is that non-GMO? Because it doesn't taste like it. We have a plan as far as content for the site. We have plenty to talk about. You guys know. But what everyone else will do as far as betting on sports, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be quiet, and that's what will happen. I'm planning that's what it's going to be, because that's where it's heading, right? But there will be a plan, and my guess is that this tennis, where they say it's 6 weeks, that they're going to wish they said it was 3 weeks. Or that they wish they didn't say it, is that we're going to take a step back. This, and this will be postponed and rescheduled, and we'll figure it out from there. It's like, I don't know where they come up that there's this magic number of 6 weeks. We don't know. We're going to deal with it when we get to it. I think that we still can do shows here. We have plenty of things that we can talk about. We have drafts, we have futures, we got college football season coming up, NFL season. We got so many things to talk about, and of course, when we know exactly what's going to happen with some of these other things, we're going to have stuff to talk about too. It's not going to be as exciting as what we talk about now, which is, what the hell do we even talk about on this show? Give out
because I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll suspend any MLB. It's outside. How many parks are outside?
Some,
right? Some. I guess there are some indoor ones.
Yeah, there's a lot now.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure it out, and it's like we'll have baseball too, but it's like it's possible that's postponed too, and I believe that postponing baseball a few weeks is probably a good thing, because I think baseball at this point we're starting in the middle of March. It's like you have snow postponements in baseball in Detroit and Colorado. It's like the game was postponed for snow. It's frickin' baseball. It's spring, right? Spring training. Baseball. Now it's winter meeting, right? It's like, I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. We're not gonna panic. We're just gonna play it by ear. We're gonna suspect what's gonna happen, and that is that everything's gonna be suspended, and we'll deal with it when it happens, when we know timelines and stuff like that, and we're gonna be fine. It's like if you guys want to come by and watch the show, we'll be here, at least for the time being, and we'll figure it out. But it's like, we're going to be bigger and better. And I would say that the position that Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs are in the general landscape, we can afford this a lot more than most of our competitors can. That's for sure. They have big overhead. These guys were cheap. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that these guys have like some of these are publicly traded companies, with 40,000 employees. Even some of the other websites out there, you guys see their shows. Well, I guess nobody sees, not a lot of people see their shows, but they have shows, and you see they're coming from studios where they pay for space and camera people and editors and all that stuff. I don't know what that does for them, but that's for you guys to decide. Chris, were you born in Italy or just have Italian origins? Cheers from Greece, home of the best European team of the 70s.
I just have Italian origin.
Nice. Do you have an Italian grandmother that cooks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
This temple didn't just happen naturally, okay?
I have something to say about this. Is that I used to live in Brooklyn, New York, and when I lived in New York, I lived in Brooklyn, and my friend Ralph, I used to play golf with him every Sunday morning. Then we would go to his house after golf. We'd play early, just like I play now. We'd go to his house, sit around for like 2 hours, and then it was Sunday dinner. And it started at, early and ended late, and it was just more food than you could eat in a month, for like 5 people. And it was like, I would always go home with like a giant, thing of food, like every week. It was enough to last me the whole week. It's just awesome. Yeah. Ralph's mother, like I would come to pick him up to go play golf. His mother would be in the kitchen making a gravy, It was awesome. It was the first time I really understood what life was all about. It was like, it's a beautiful thing. But anyways, you want to get rolling with some college hoops picks here, Chris? We're really way off topic today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I got 10 games.
All right. How about you, Rod? How many you got?
I got about the same.
11? So do 5, Chris, 10. And then Rod can do 5 or 6, and then I'll do a bunch, and we'll just keep going.
Sure. Okay, I'll start with the noon games. I like Michigan minus 2.5 against Rutgers. Rutgers has had a good season so far, but Michigan's already beat up on them on a neutral floor, and I just think it happens again here. Michigan's a better team, I think. I'll take Michigan minus 2.5. I'll take Ohio plus 3.5 against Akron. Akron's probably one of the teams that's going to has a good chance of representing the MAC in the big dance, but Ohio 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, 7-3 straight up. I'll take a shot with the Bobcats and the 3.5 points. I'll take Texas +7 against Texas Tech. I'm starting to believe in Shaka Smart again, or at least in the month of March I am. And, Texas is playing well lately. Texas Tech, they're good defensively, but I just think Texas hangs around this one. I think this one's a battle, so I'll take Texas +7. I'll take Duke minus the 8 points against NC State. They split the meetings in the regular season, but what we did see was whoever won big. So, and then I think 19 points each way, so I'll take Duke -8. I think another double-digit victories in the cards here. And I'll take Ohio State -2 against Purdue. Ohio State's been playing the better basketball coming into this one, and I just don't like Purdue away from home, so I'll take Ohio State -2.
So the MLS has suspended their season, but that's one of those things that they could suspend it or not suspend it. I wouldn't notice, but I'm not, like I said, I think we're just at the beginning of it. And it's like, judging by how many people read the MLS articles, I'm going to guess not a lot of other people are going to notice that either. But, Rod?
I ain't going to miss the MLS either.
Rod's like, I don't even know what to say about that. And for the 37th time, Donovan Mitchell has coronavirus as well. It's like, this just in. It's like breaking news. It's like how about when you're watching a game, right? And they have like the breaking news about the game that you're watching. It's like you're watching the celebration of the Patriots winning the Super Bowl. It's like breaking news: New England Patriots win the Super Bowl. It's like, is that what's going on here? It's like,
what happened?
I don't think Rudy Gobert might have been irresponsible with the way that he acted and everything like that, but my guess is we're going to see a lot of people and a lot of players that have acted fully responsibly that have this virus. How about Tom Hanks? Was he irresponsible? I doubt it. He seems like a pretty well put together guy here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with Chris here on Michigan. Neutral court. I don't trust Rutgers. They're not at home. They're on a neutral court. Give me Michigan here. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take North Carolina State +8 at Duke. I think that's just way too many points. And NC State's on. They're going to come to play. They're going to put in 150%. Is Duke going to actually? Duke's going to try to win the game. They don't care if they win by 1 or 2. Give me NC State +8. Give me Iowa over Minnesota here. Iowa at home here. Or I think just Iowa's the better team over Mini. Give me Iowa -2. I also like Oregon State versus Oregon. Give me the Ducks here. The Ducks are just playing way better basketball here. Give me the Ducks -7.5. And what else? Syracuse versus Louisville. I like Louisville here. Syracuse won last time, but I think Louisville's a way better team. They'll beat Syracuse tonight. Give me Louisville -6. And I also like Davidson -9 over LaSalle. LaSalle's a 2-9 in their last 11 games. ATS. I'm not. LaSalle's just dumpster fire. Give me Davidson -9. I think they easily win that one by double digits.
I like Eastern Washington against Sac State. I know Spread Knowledge loved Sac State yesterday. We hit Sac State and the under in that game on the Spread Knowledge show, but today I'm on the other side. I like this Eastern Washington team, and we've talked about them on the show a few times. It's like, this is the type of team that could knock off a number 1 if they get in as a 16. I don't even know, even if they're 15 or 14. It's like, say you're a 3 seed, and all of a sudden you're up against a team that scores 90-something points a game. It's like, you're not going to come back. Even though their defense is bad, you go down by 25, 30 points, it's going to be tough to come back on them. You come out cold and, they don't, you're in trouble. You'd be in big trouble. I like Akron. I've been talking about them a lot this season. They used to be the kings of the MAC the last 4 years in Buffalo. I think the Zips are, they've been playing all season like they're ready to get back to the tournament, and now's their time. I like Michigan against Rutgers. They've owned Rutgers this season. They've owned them. Very tough to beat the same team 3 times in a season. It's even tougher to probably 3 times. It's been really about a month total. One of the games was neutral site at Madison Square Garden. The other one was at Rutgers. So Michigan hasn't played Rutgers at home all season. They beat them twice. Why not one more time in a different building? It's like, we could be in the backyard. And it's like, this is the type of thing where it's like, we've had a lot of discussion about what it's going to be like for these guys to play in empty arenas and why they need an entire, to me, it's like, why do you need to play in like an entire giant arena? Why don't we just have it in like a high school basketball gym, with some cameras and really get, close into these games and really, old school it, If there's not going to be anyone in the crowds, why go through this entire process of having it in these arenas? But, I just think that Michigan has already shown, and we've seen Michigan in these tournament-type scenarios this season, and especially early in the season. It's super tough. I mean, you have to remember, there's some teams that are just going to be really, really tough in tournament style. I like Tennessee. This line is flipped. They've gone from -1 to +1. I like them even more. And Oklahoma State against Kansas, that is way too many points. Chris? What's up?
Yeah, I'm on Iowa as well, -1.5. Minnesota got the win yesterday, but Iowa's just a better team here. They've been waiting, and I know we've seen the lower seeds that have had a game to get the rust off give the higher seeds a run. I don't think it happens here. I think Iowa wins handily, so I'll take the 1.5 and I'll lay it with Iowa. I'm going to take Georgia +8 against Florida. Florida really wasn't wowing anybody down the stretch, and Georgia beat up on Ole Miss yesterday, and I think they have the offense to at least hang with Florida here. And these two teams just don't like each other, so I expect a out-and-out battle. So I'll take Georgia +8. I like USC +5 against Arizona. I just like the way USC has been playing all season long, and Arizona, they have the talent, but I just think this is just a much tighter game, and I think this is going to be a 2-3 point game at most. So I'll take USC +5. I like Virginia -3 against Notre Dame. I just don't think Notre Dame's going to be able to hang up to that Virginia defense. I know it was a tight game in the regular season, but I think Virginia locks it down and stifles the Irish.
It's a light number there, right? We know Virginia's a defensive team. I mean, if this game was like in the 6-7 range, it'd be very, very tough to take Virginia. But at this number, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They've been playing great lately.
Yeah. And the last one, I like FIU +1.5 against Charlotte. Just really liked what I saw from FIU yesterday, and I'm starting to believe in the Panthers that this could be a team that represents Conference USA. So I'll take FIU +1.5.
Rod?
Give me Seton Hall -2.5 over Butler. Or wrong one. Butler's playing Providence?
Yes, Ed Cooley's team. Ed Cooley in action.
I'm gonna take Providence. Butler's 1-4 ATS their last 5 versus Providence. I like this Providence team. Give me Providence over Butler here. I'm gonna take Providence on the money line. I think they beat Butler today. I also like Virginia. I'm with Chris. Give me Virginia here. They turned it on down the stretch. And just playing the way better basketball. Give me Virginia. Seton Hall is playing Marquette, I believe. Yep. Give me Seton Hall -2.5.
All day.
Marquette's.
And twice on Thursdays. I mean, how's that line there? I mean, Marquette is...
I don't know.
I mean, we're talking about a potential Final Four team against a team that's just stunk it up recently. I mean... What the hell are they thinking? I mean, I don't have that as a premium pick today, but I'm kind of thinking I might just go back for those that aren't watching the show and add it. I mean, it's I mean, how? I don't even get it. Got cut out there.
Distract. I cut out?
Yes.
Another one I like Oklahoma +4 over West Virginia. That West Virginia team, sure they beat Baylor last time, but was Baylor really trying? Before that, what was they 1-9? They just haven't looked very good. Give me Oklahoma +4.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I also give me Kent State over Ball State. Kent State -1.5. I think they're the better team. Give me Kent State -1.5. I think.
Anything else?
And I like St. Bonnie. Give me St. Bonnie's over George Mason.
I like that one
I
as
got
well.
it at -4. I think it's up at -5 now. But I still like it even at -5.
So
St. Bonnie.
I'm definitely gonna have a money line round robin today as well. But here's some games that I did not do videos on that I like these teams too. First one is Sam Houston State. This one to me is like a Jeopardy before and after. Anyone that watch Jeopardy, where it's kind of like you have the before and after, where you have to like it's two words kind of merged together. Sam Houston State, right? It's like it doesn't even make sense to me. But I tell you what, they can play some hoops there. They're playing Northwestern State in this one, and Sam Houston State favored by 5.5. The line opened at 4.5. Sam Houston hasn't been great against the number this year, but I'll tell you what, they're the way better team here. Way better. They're gonna kill them. I like Sam Houston State in this one. I also like Florida International. I think they win this game. I think we've said it before earlier. We've covered Florida International a ton on this show all season long, and Florida International. This is a team that I could see making a run all the way. I could see these guys going to the dance. If there is a dance. I like Nicholls State here. This is a team that beat Pitt earlier this season. They've been pretty tough all the way around. They play against Lamar, which my wife, who does our social media, asked me, what's this Lamar versus Nicholls State thing? It's like, I've never even heard of these teams. Lamar, not a team that we've covered a ton this season, but Nicholls State, 16-11 against the number this season. So laying just 2.5 points in this one. And then Long Beach State against UC Irvine. I think they got a chance to win this game. They're getting 11. This would be a big. They're getting 12. This would be a big money line winner. Why not? I think if you're going to take a shot on a big money line, I see people doing 18 parlays and stuff like that in our Facebook group. I would just stick a couple bucks on a giant money line dog like Long Beach State, who's a super live dog in this game against UC Irvine, who generally underperforms in these type of spots. Take Long Beach State. Anything else there, Chris, that you're looking at?
No, I'm good for today.
How about you, Rod? Someone asking, anyone likes Texas plus 245? I tell you, I don't love Texas at 245, and I don't like Texas Tech laying the points. It's kind of like I like Texas plus the points, I think.
Yeah, because I think Texas Tech wins that game, but I think it's too many points.
I mean, how about this card? How about this card? It's like, say we do go out on college basketball today. Say today that they pull the plug and they say that's it. Not a bad day to go out on, right?
Yeah.
If they make it through the schedule. So, Chris, let's wrap it up. Man, we've talked about a lot of stuff here. Go ahead.
All right, so the hockey I'm playing today, I like Philly plus 130 against Tampa Bay, Carolina in regulation minus 120 against New Jersey, Pittsburgh minus 145 against Columbus, Florida plus 125 against Dallas, and Calgary minus 140 against the Islanders. My 3-team Birdcage all to win in regulation, Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Calgary plus 724. College hoops, I like Michigan minus 2.5 against Rutgers, Ohio plus 3.5 against Akron, Texas plus 7 against Texas Tech, Duke minus 8 against NC State, Ohio State minus 2 against Purdue, Iowa minus 1.5 against Minnesota, Georgia +8 against Florida. USC +5 against Arizona. Virginia -3 against Notre Dame, and FIU +1.5 against Charlotte. My 3-team point spread parlay: Duke -8, Iowa -1.5, Virginia -3.
Rod, the birdcage man, Zawacki.
We'll start with hockey. Give me New Jersey money line. Like Tampa in regulation. Like the Pens on the puck line. Give me Montreal in regulation. Give me Nashville money line. Dallas in regulation. Calgary in regulation. Give me the Canucks on the money line. I'm going to go 3-way birdcage today in hockey. Give me Tampa in regulation, Calgary in regulation, Dallas in regulation. College hoops. Give me St. Bonnie's -5. NC State +8 over Duke. Give me Davidson -9 over LaSalle. Give me Iowa -2 over Minnesota. Give me Louisville -6 over Syracuse. Give me Oregon -7.5 over Oregon State. I like Oklahoma +4 over West Virginia. Give me Virginia -3. Give me Michigan -3. I like Seton Hall -2.5. I like Texas +7. College birdcage. Give me Seton Hall -2.5. Give me Virginia -3 and Louisville -6. And then I'm going to do a college basketball moneyline birdcage. Give me Providence moneyline, Texas A&M moneyline, and Oklahoma moneyline.
Okay. Let me do some quick housekeeping here. Anyways, this could be our last day of sports betting for who knows when. It's definitely always a possibility. So I'm going to play it close to the vest, nice and conservative. I'm going to do a 10-team round robin money line parlay. Tennessee, Oklahoma State, USC, Bowling Green, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, South Carolina, FIU, Temple, and Long Beach State. 10-team round robin money line underdog parlay. Bring the guys back in. Hopefully you guys got that. Anyways. Well, guys, I guess we'll see how the day plays out. If there's big breaking news or whatever, we'll come back on live just to discuss the impact. I know everyone will want a place to come and talk about it, and we'll provide that for you. That's what we do. We're a community here. We're not talking at you. We're not, anything like that. It's not how we roll. It's not how we ever have been. I've always been, I think, ever since back in the day. It's like people will say, like, oh, Mitch blows his top, Mitch does this, Mitch does this. Yeah, because Mitch is accessible, right? I'm accessible. Someone in here said that I'm a racist. It's like, you got to be kidding me, right? You're kidding. It's like, I've been called a lot of things, and I think even my haters would block me on that. Would back me on that. They would. Anyways, ridiculous. It's like, I would never block someone for saying, hi, I'm from Nigeria. Believe me, we have hard set criteria why people are blocked, and that would not be one. He blocked me from my account because I said, hi, I'm from Nigeria. No way. No way. No way has that ever happened. It had to be the 100 other things that you did. Yeah, we know Donovan Mitchell has it. It's not just announced. It was announced about a half hour ago. And if you look in the comments, it's been said about 600 times. If you have picks, the place to put them in your Facebook group is in the Facebook group where they talk about this stuff all day long. Thank you guys for joining me. Maybe we'll come back later on if there is any kind of breaking news. We're not going to probably. I think it's more, if there is news of cancellations and suspensions, I think it's always better to sit back and wait and find out exactly what that means, as opposed to like running to the casino and trying to get refunds on your futures bets. It's like the season isn't canceled; it's suspended. The sportsbook manager there, he's not going to know any more than you do. It's like they're waiting on word from the NBA. We all are. It's like
all are. Yep.
Yeah, it's like. And it's like, let's make it a discussion and not like this broadcast, like this hot breaking news, like all these, we got 50 comments here where Donovan Mitchell has the corona. It's like, this is about being a discussion, not, I don't talk at you guys. I don't want to be talked at either, Let's just do it right, man. This is what we do. We're not going to panic. We're going to sit here and bet on sports. And it's like, if we're not betting on sports, we're going to have some time to do some homework. And I'll tell you what, we're going to be bigger and better than ever when it does start up again. Because if it does get, if things do get suspended, things slow down, things even come to a halt. We're not going away. We're just going to take a break. Maybe instead of playing 18 holes, maybe we'll play 36. Maybe instead of just playing golf, we'll go surfing and play golf. Instead of just surfing, we'll
What's
surf.
the PGA going to do? I haven't heard anything about them. Their Players Championships this weekend.
So they're going to ban fans, but that's about it. Right, but that's all I've seen anyways.
People are saying I went too fast on my money line round robin 10-teamer. I'll say it again, and I'll say it nice and slow. Tennessee, Volunteers. Oklahoma State, Cowboys. USC, Trojans. Bowling Green, Falcons. Texas A&M, Aggies. Oklahoma, Sooners. South Carolina, Gamecocks. Florida International University, FIU, Golden Panthers, Temple, Owls, Long Beach State. What up, beaches? Anyways. Anything else to add here, guys, about the possible suspensions or of seasons or cancellations or coronavirus or, anything at all? We all good?
Just that if that's the way we're going to leave it for the next couple weeks, I'm glad we left with you saying, what up, beaches? What up, beaches?
It's like, who comes up with that name? It's like, I'm telling you, it's just like the U on the helmet. It's just like the U on the helmet for the Hurricanes. So this guy will not get, so Rod, this guy in the comments, Sonny Lanos, just can't get over your Hurricanes pick. It's like, I don't know. It's like you gave out probably 25 picks on this show, and it's like he can't get past this one. It's like
I didn't even take the Hurricanes.
Was it you, Chris?
I did.
Oh, so he can't get past this thing. Like,
give me New Jersey.
Did you say Stone? I mean, I got up and got coffee while Chris was speaking, but did you say Stone Cold Lock bet your life savings on it or something?
Not even close.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's talking about. It's like, if you like that pick, well, then I love this too. People say this in the YouTube comments and stuff like, I just gave this out as a pick. I'm not saying, do whatever. This is my opinion, We don't know about the NHL. We're waiting for an announcement. The morning skate was canceled. There was a vote by the player reps who are supposed to be a representative of the consensus of the team. It's almost like the electoral college, right? It's the way that it kind of works. But even if they wanted to vote against their entire team, they could. They've been elected by the team to represent them, regardless, of how the team feels on a specific issue. NHL kind of goes both ways. It's like, you have to think about the economics of the sport here too. Most of the NHL guys don't make as much as some of the other guys in the other sports. It's just the economics of the game. So missing, a month or something of a season for the guys that make less money is a huge dent. Like Mark Cuban, talking about how he wants to find other work for the people that were working in the stadium, because he knows how this is going to affect people. And I know it's going to affect our writing team, at Sports Chat and Pick Dogs. And I have stuff for them. I have stuff for them. It's going to break me, but so what, man? I'll figure it out. But these guys, they depend on it, and they've been good to me. So we're going to keep it rolling. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, everyone. Maybe we'll see you guys later. I still do premium picks. Over at Pick Dogs is where our premium area is, but we're releasing a multi-handicapper site at both Pick Dogs and Sports Chat. They're going to be a little different. Sports Chat, we're going to open it up to other handicappers that you might know from other sites around the internet. At Pick Dogs, it's only going to be our internal people, and that's it. And we're going to have other offerings there because we can do that with our own internal people. Like, we'll have... there'll be other things included in things at Pick Dogs. Like, we'll have a private Facebook group where we can discuss things, like spread knowledge picks, and we'll be able to discuss our premium picks inside that private Facebook group. Well, we'll still have our public Facebook group. We'll still do everything that we do now. We'll just be a little more dialed in on things like that. Anyways, this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. I'm excited for the new premium area. It is almost ready. I saw it yesterday. So, I was hoping to unveil it, but I'm going to be unveiling the premium, and there's going to be no games. Anyways, this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Thank you guys for showing up once again. And like I said, no one's ever quarantined from coming to our show. Everyone is always welcome. Have a great day.